Cancer, I'm here to give you a 2024 New Year wild card read straight from the hip with lots of lip. And we are diving right in here to see what kind of energies are going to be in play for you next year. And I'm excited to dive into this read for you on winter solstice. And I hope that you are enjoying this longest, most peaceful, darkest time of the year when we get an opportunity to really turn within, think about what transpired over the past year and our hopes for the light to build in our life in the coming years. So we're just dropping in with you, Cancer, tonight. And for you to come up on winter solstice, I feel like you might be in a place of deeply reflecting right now. You're looking back at everything that's transpired over the past year and you're feeling all the feels. I got this hit that you're definitely in your emotions at this time. You're very nostalgic. You're thinking back on old times. I mean, I think this is kind of par for the course at this time of year, but I feel like it's particularly highlighted for you at this time of year. I feel like there's somebody you're really missing, Cancer, and you wish that you could bridge the gap in this connection. Yeah, it's interesting. This seems to be something that's really forward in your consciousness as I tap into the collective energy. We're going to just dive right into it, okay, Cancer? This is for any significant Cancer placement: Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Pluto, a loaded fourth house, or if you happen to have Capricorn Rising, that makes you a Cancer Descendant. And you may find these messages really speak to you, okay? What is coming in spirit for Cancer in the new year of 2024? What experiences await Cancer in 2024? What is up ahead? What will be coming into Cancer's life in 2024, Spirit? Let's have a look at your baseline energy. Well, I see that you might be feeling kind of melancholy right now. You might be sort of brooding about a disappointment, but I feel like there's something that you're missing here that you can't see. And this is something you'll come to discover in 2024, that what you actually think is a missed opportunity is a blessing in disguise, because there's something new that's going to be presented to you on your path in 2024 that if things had gone the way you had hoped they would, you actually would miss this opportunity. You wouldn't be able to take it. But because things didn't pan out the way you were hoping, it actually brings your greatest hope into being in the most unexpected way. And I'm getting like what you don't even realize is your greatest hope right now. It's something that's going to be revealed to you. Okay, we're going to turn this whole deck around and I'm going to do my 3 cuts 3 times just to get a good baseline energy for you on what 2024 has in store for you. This could be around an emperor in your life, could be somebody with a strong Aries or Taurus placement. They don't have to have a strong Aries or Taurus placement, but this is somebody who is in charge. I just heard large and in charge, okay? This is a very strong masculine figure. They have a good head on their shoulders. They know how to organize things. They know how to take care of business. I feel like this is a big focus for them. They also really value family and that foundation and the solidity of family. And this is somebody that is front and center for you as you move into 2024. I feel like this is somebody that you feel a lot of devotion to. You do view this person as your match. I got that very strongly. For those of you masculines, you know, this is definitely you being in your power. And I think that you're in a very strong position, and there is somebody that is your counterpart, you know, that's very much on your mind, and just creating that solidity and that stability within the family unit is something that's really important to you. Solidity, stability in the relationship. This is definitely more commitment oriented, okay? This is also a lot of lessons have been learned, you know, you're wiser moving into 2024 than you were in the past. And there might be a relationship that was sort of at the catalyst for this, okay? And there's a lot of happiness here. So I love this energy for you. It's like you're casting off all of the shadow stuff. Like I feel like you did a lot of heavy work. Some of you actually dove real deep into your subconscious in 2023. There was a lot that came up for you that maybe was related to the past, you know, that you had to process, maybe even some things around childhood. For a few of you, this could have even been sparked by your own relationship with your child and just experiencing the challenges of motherhood and what that's like and everything it was bringing up in you. Maybe there was certain experiences you were having for those of you that are parents that was really reminding you of some experiences in your childhood that you kind of hadn't processed yet. And you've been doing a lot of work around this. I feel this. Some of you have actually gotten some kind of like support, counseling support, something along these lines, or you might have been navigating a kind of tricky situation with a child. But I feel like you're getting to the other side of this. You're starting to see the light come in at the end of the tunnel. It's been a long journey, okay, but it's been worth it. And it will be worth it when you get to the other side of this. Some of you are finding out that you conceived. Congratulations. And so you're looking forward to stepping into the role of, you know, being a parent in the new year and or having another child. You know, maybe this isn't your first one, but I do feel congratulations are in order for some of you. And this is very exciting. Something maybe that you struggled with. Maybe you were of a certain age and thought it wasn't really possible for you. And that opportunity had kind of passed you by, and then it's like, whoa, surprise. I got that. I feel like there's kind of a surprise about it, but you're really happy about it. And if you do have any concerns about the pregnancy and carrying the baby to term, I feel like if there were those challenges in the past, they're overcome, all right? And it might have something to do with the way you really changed your diet. I don't know why I'm getting this, but maybe you switched to a more plant-based diet. It was really full of really good like monounsaturated fats. I feel like you got a lot of EFAs and lecithin. I'm getting, you know, something was kind of like not creating the ideal environment, but something you switched up with your health has really made this possible. All right. I feel like there's a lot of happiness here. I also feel for those of you that don't relate to that piece at all, you're just feeling really good. And this energy is only going to continue to build as you move into 2024. You've got a lot of vitality, you know, a lot more energy than you did. I think a lot of what was holding you down energetically in 2023 had everything to do with kind of like this heavy processing stuff you were doing. You know, you were looking at a lot of old emotional stuff. It wasn't the easiest to sort through, but I feel like you really got to the other side of it and you feel a new sense of self. You feel good, you know, and I think you don't just feel good. I think you look good too. I think you're glowing. I think, you know, the skin is looking really radiant. There's something new you're switching up there too. I think a lot of it, again, for some reason I'm getting this, it goes back to some dietary change you had. You really noticed that it had like a beautifying effect, or, you know, it made you more handsome, more dashing, okay? But I do feel there's this kind of like really feeling good and looking good too. Like there's a radiance there. You might have even been getting a lot of comments from people recently that were like commenting on the radiance in your eyes. Like they see this like this new light in your eyes. And maybe you did go through a period where you were processing a lot of grief, but it's like, that's what happens. You know, it's like when you come back to life, it's like the light first gets invoked within you. And then it starts to just build to such an extent that it radiates out, you know, from you. And that light builds, you know, in your material reality and in the kind of experiences that you start drawing towards yourself. Sometimes when we've been through a process where we've really been going through a lot of heavy emotional material and we've been doing a lot of deep healing work, trauma work, you know, I don't think this has been a light journey for you. Some of you may have had challenges within the family, you know, and I do feel like you're getting to the other side of all of this in 2024. And there's a lot of health and vitality and growth and just happiness, you know, happiness. And for some of you, it is around a baby. Okay, so if you don't want to have a baby, then you need to, you need to be mindful about your protection. Okay, because I do see that it's going to be a fertile time for you. All right. What is coming in for Cancer in 2024, Spirit? What does 2024 have in store for Cancer, Spirit? What is coming in for Cancer in 2024? Okay, it's interesting. So we see here that there is the Seven of Swords, and it's as a crossing energy. So I feel like this is one last bridge that you got to cross that sort of like still connects you to the past and has something to do with really feeling like somebody just pulled some sneaky shit back there, man, and you're not quite settled with it yet. And you also might have to deal with somebody that you have some trust issues around. And so it has you kind of like looking over your shoulder, even as you're moving into 2022. I feel like right now you're kind of at a stalemate with this situation a little bit. It's a pause, okay? It's just like a little time out, like go to your own corners, and maybe that has something to do with the fact that it's the holiday season, so you're kind of like tabling things for now. But I think that you suspect that somebody's trying to get away with something, and I don't think that you're gonna like tolerate that. And you may even feel like this person is kind of sabotaging you in some way. Let's see what this is about. What is this sabotage that Cancer has on their mind? What is this situation? Give more illumination in regard to this, Spirit. I feel like this situation has stolen a lot of your time. It has something to do with a new beginning in love. Okay, so you might feel like, somebody promised you some new beginning in love. Maybe you've had challenges in this connection. Maybe this is somebody that you feel very like you feel connected to this person on a spiritual level, I get. And I think that there's maybe been some challenges in this relationship. Perhaps there's been challenges with somebody not being very honest, or kind of like doing things on the fly, and sort of like not letting you know what's going on. Maybe at times, this person's a little elusive. You don't know what they're thinking. You don't know what they're up to. It's hard to get in touch with this person. You also may have felt that somebody promised you a new beginning in love here, and then all of a sudden they just kind of like went MIA. They went ghost on you. Communication shut down, and then you kind of like heard through the grapevine that they were talking up somebody else, okay? You might suspect that somebody's been pulling their energy away from you because they're actually looking in a different direction. Either way, I feel like there's trust issues here. And simultaneously, there's still this desire for a new beginning. I think this is like a soul connection here. This is somebody you feel a deep connection with. Tell me more about this, Spirit. Give more details about this for Cancer. Yeah, I mean, this is somebody you also feel a great sexual connection with as well. This past fall might have been really significant in regard to this situation, both summer and fall, okay? I think maybe it started out as something that felt real promising, and then maybe you feel like it just turned more sexual, Again, you might suspect that this person is sexually involved with somebody else. Maybe they told you that they were going to cut that off and that they were going to, invest in your direction, something along these lines. And it didn't pan out like that. This person, I get that they're kind of MIA. This person's sort of like hard to get in touch with, or hard to get the truth out of them. And there's just something a little shifty here that you don't quite trust, right? I definitely think the heart is involved in this situation. The passions are involved in this situation, but you don't totally trust this person. Now, it could have something to do with what you've dealt with in the past. We did see you were sorting through a lot of old stuff. So maybe you're butting up against issues in a relationship, a romantic opportunity that's wanting to get off the ground, but it's having a hard time getting off the ground, because you're distrustful, because you've had a lot of people who maybe played you in the past. Yeah, here's the thing. I see that you've kind of been in two minds, and maybe you've sort of felt like this person, it's like two ships passing in the night, so close and yet so far away. You feel a little star-crossed with this person. You know, you're in two minds in this situation. One minute you think, yeah, you know, I'm willing to open up to it, and the next minute you're like, I don't know. You know, it's like back and forth, back and forth. I feel like you're constantly trying to balance this out. And this could be because you feel like somebody was not in balance with you in the past. In other words, you felt like you were doing more of the giving in the relationship, they were doing more of the taking. I do have this sort of sense that you feel like it always just kind of like missed the boat with this person. Like you hoped it would be this ultimate fulfillment, this ultimate happiness, but there was just always just like somehow fate would intervene and things would go awry. And then you felt kind of like washed out to sea, and it would throw your emotions out of balance. And I think it's like one of these things that it takes the emotions for a ride. You have a lot of like sentimentality around this person, a lot of nostalgia around this person. This person may invoke a nostalgic feeling in you, like they might remind you of that feeling of first falling in love, and maybe you haven't been like connected to that kind of a feeling that, like, you know, just lights you up, or you have the butterflies in your tummy. Like there's almost this like piece of like this person kind of awakens a very young, you know, part of you, a very young, hopeful part of you. And then right after that, right after the tail end of the invocation of that feeling, comes this like abrupt halt, as the rational, jaded one kind of steps in and says, yeah, but remember all this stuff that was done to you. And so you can't make up your mind about this person. That's what I got. You can't make up your mind about this person. I'm hearing the clashes. Should I stay or should I go? You know? And you do feel like this person makes a lot of promises, but they don't, it just never quite, you know, it never quite delivers, you know? And you're just wondering, you know, is it worth the investment? Like, how long have I been investing in this? Will it ever be what I want it to be? You know, you have a lot of hope around this person. I think you've been through a lot of dark, heavy times with this person. There's been challenges with this person. I see you've actively done healing work around this person. You may have even done spiritual cleansing work around this person. This person may be on a path like that. You know, they may be on an occult path. This person may be an alchemist. You may feel like they know how to throw their energy around, and they know how to affect your energy and throw you off balance. Okay. And so maybe you've had some negative experiences with this. This person just knows how to manipulate your energy. That's what I got. I don't know why I'm getting that, but that's what I feel. They know how to manipulate your energy. And yet there is this like real, like deep connection there. I feel that, you know, it's not just an emotional connection. It's not just a passionate physical connection. I do believe you got really good chemistry with this person. But I also feel that there's this piece here where there's a huge, like, spiritually karmic connection here, where you're learning some really deep soul stuff with this person. And I think the lessons you're learning with this person has something to do with power, what it means to hold power as an individual, and what it means to hold power within the context of relationship. And I think there's times that you've stumbled, you know, in learning, integrating this lesson, and you've done a lot of healing work. But I do get this piece that you may have done like some releasing of energy. You might have been very formal with this. You may have even done some ritual release work around this, some cleansing baths, some spiritual cleansing baths. You might have even been spending some time by a body of water. I get this, and just really in reflection about this, and also, you know, doing a lot of release work, a lot of grieving work. Maybe it was a place you frequented with each other, and it brings back a lot of memories for you. But I feel like this heaviness is being cast away, and you're stepping into the light in this situation. Now, it's interesting because I'm wondering, with this to come so front and center, factoring into 2024, is there going to be any kind of resolution in this connection? Is there going to be any kind of coming together, spirit, healing of this connection, renewal of this connection, or has this come to a close? I mean, I would say yes. I mean, it looks like there's some kind of growth here. We got the 10 of Pentacles. So it seems to me like what might happen in this situation is you've been in two minds of it. You've been wondering, should I invest in this? There is a deep connection here. I also feel like as much as this situation has taken you to some dark places, it's also been a connection that's shown you the greatest happiness too. There is something about this connection that like breathes life back into you. It makes you feel like you're young again. I got that, okay? There's a lot of passion here, and there is a desire for new beginning. I feel like this person will come around and it's going to kind of throw you off balance though. And you're going to be wondering, should I invest in this? Now it's interesting here because I got kind of two stories with this. For some of you, you're going to be wondering if you should invest in this, because in order for you to invest in this direction with this person, you may have to step out on an already established relationship. Some of you are already married, or you're already, cuffed up with somebody. You're already invested in somebody. You're in a committed relationship and you're building together and you're planning on a future together. Like, this is not like some, this is not some casual connection. This is a serious commitment. Some of you are, concerned about how your family will react to this person and whether or not they can really blend with your family, because the last time you had to go around with this individual, it left a real bad taste in your family's mouth. Like, they don't want you connected with this person. So this could have that vibe of sort of like feeling star-crossed because you feel like there's a lot of people who are against this. 22 on the clock. And yet there's a connection here. And there are building blocks for the future. And there's something that's meant to come into alignment here. And as I said that, it was 22-29 on the clock. So that's, 29 is 11. All right. So I do feel like there has been a cycle that closed out on this connection. And it has a lot to do with your ability to step into it more than anything. I feel like what could be an issue for you in this situation is your inability to trust it. Also, your desire to kind of like have your cake and eat it too. For those of you already in a committed situation, you may be tempted to test it out. You may be tempted to test it out and see, well, will it stick this time before you leave your sure thing? And that could be the very thing that could sabotage this connection. And I'll tell you why. Because in a situation where there's been a lack of trust, when you're trying to rebuild trust and you're trying to create a renewal in a connection, how do you think that person's going to feel if you're kind of like, well, I got 1 foot in, 1 foot out? That could be what's kind of causing the imbalance in this situation. This might not have happened yet, and this could be a prediction, but this person could even possibly leave an established connection they're in to come towards you. And maybe it started out initially as a temptation, all right? But I feel like somebody is willing to make that commitment, but there's another person in this situation who's kind of like on the fence. I'm leaning more toward you, Cancer. I have to tell you, I feel like there's a lot in this situation where it's like you already got fooled once and you don't want to be played a fool again. So I think you're the one who's hesitant in this situation. And this could be what keeps things from coming together, all right? But again, it's sort of like somebody has a lot to lose here with the 10 of Pentacles. And maybe you feel like this person is just sort of like wanting that stability. But there's definitely something here. I feel like I want to see, what is this person's intention toward Cancer in 2024? Show me what this person's intention is. They don't know. They feel burdened right now. They feel burdened right now. They're the 10 of Wands, okay? They're the 10 of Wands. Now, I have to say this, okay? For that piece, for somebody, that you were connected to that knows the ways of alchemy and you felt like they would interfere in your energy a lot, I feel like right now this person's kind of burdened. because it's sort of like all that energy came back to them and came back home to roost. And this person's experiencing like the backlash of that energetic manipulation. They're feeling a little burdened right now. I feel like this person is, you know, kind of like burning off some of that stuff that they put out there. So I feel like this person is kind of under pressure. But in terms of you and the future with you, this person feels like they're totally in the dark. They have no idea, you know, they have no idea. In fact, this person might have a lot on their mind right now. They might have a huge weight of responsibility as well, just in their personal life and what they're dealing with right now, that they might not even feel like they can devote energy to this at the moment, okay? But I do feel like this person doesn't know like where you stand, what you feel, if you're really in it or not, okay? There is a sense of burden here. Show me more about this person. What is this person's intention? On the other side of this, yeah, see, look, Ten of Swords in reverse. Like they felt like the ending in your connection was really brutal. Like something went down here that was real rough. Somebody felt stabbed in the back. Like they got done dirty in this situation. But this person wants to come back from this. I feel like they're like, I don't know how do you come back from this, you know? And maybe they feel responsible for it, you know? There's this piece here where I don't think this person is like denying any culpability in the situation. Like they know, you know, they know that you've been really hurt in this situation. They also understand that, you know, to you, you got a lot to lose, all right? And they understand all of this. And yet, you know, there's a desire. There's a desire to turn it around. What's the reality? Oh, look at this. Yeah, they want to move forward. And they want to move forward with you. There's your energy coming out. But they're trying to, you know, figure out the riddle of what you're really feeling in this situation. I don't know if you hear Ted gnawing away there, but it's like it's gnawing at them, okay? And the only thing that's going to move this forward is spirit. So I do feel kind of like it's not time to sort of like force anything. There does show that there's a moving forward in this situation. But first, there's a decision that needs to be made. And I feel the decision is either or, okay? You can't have both. I feel like you're going to have to make an either or decision in this case, all right? And maybe they have no idea what you're going to choose just because of sort of like the cycles you all have been through before. I mean, that is your energy coming out very strong. That lets me know that, you know, it's all about the choice you make, determines how this moves forward. What would be the wisest choice for Cancer in this situation? What would be the wise choice for Cancer in this situation? Let's look out for you, Cancer. Would it be wise? You need to see more here with the moon, okay? Because there's a lot hidden here. There's still a lot hidden here. And, you know, I really feel that this is also your energy. It shows, too, that there's a lot hidden about your own desires and your own intentions here and your own motivations. That's what I feel. But there is something about this experience that can be destabilizing for you. And there's also this piece where, yes, you feel, you know, intuitively connected to this individual. In fact, I feel that you may even have a little bit of that telepathy with this person. Like you can read this person's mind. You know what they're thinking. You know when they're thinking of you. You know when they're going to pick up the phone and reach out to touch someone. You know what I'm saying? You are energetically connected to this person. But there is this piece too. I mean, I got to bring it up because it's a crossing influence. There's also this piece here about there can be some manipulation in this situation. And this person's pretty good at like sort of brewing confusion within you and destabilizing you. And so I think that's why it's kind of good to like allow spirit to drive the chariot forward in this case. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's a letting go of control that needs to happen here. The chariot, you know, the rider doesn't have any reins to control this. This is something that's only solved within to create the movement forward. So there's sort of like this riddle There's something you need to understand about yourself and your own motivations and what is really drawing you to this connection before there will be movement forward. But there is going to be a choice made. There will be some movement forward. I feel like you're really actively working on yourself, and you're also working on moving away from things that have created a lot of internal conflict for you. You know, it's like you don't want to be in this space anymore where you're so troubled, you know, constantly feeling confused, not knowing what to do, stressed out. You know, I feel like this person has the ability to really like just mentally tie you up in knots. And again, you know, there's a child here. So a child could be something to be considered in this situation, or this person is helping you work through some issue in your childhood. But I do feel like there's some kind of conflict in this situation that's coming to a head, and it will be resolved. Okay, it will be resolved sometime in the winter. All right. So this could look like a resolution coming somewhat soon. I get maybe in Aquarius season in the new year. It could also be that it takes a while longer for this to iron out, that there's some truth that needs to be spoken, and it doesn't come in until the winter of 2024. Ace of Swords is a timing card there. I think that this person is kind of an independent agent right now. You may be dealing with a fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You may share a child with this person. That's possible, okay? You could also feel like there's somebody that's kind of like blocking your progress with this person, or like there's some competition here. You could feel like there's an X in the way in this situation. Okay, I can see that, and I can see it being a few different characters, and I'll tell you why. Okay, we have the King of Wands facing the Empress. Now, if you share a child with this person, this could be you. This could also be you've drawn this person's attention because they see that you started to really value yourself, invest in yourself. It's very attractive to them to see you standing in your power. It's a really good thing here. Teddy's wanting to head outside for a moment. Just a second here. Here, Ted. All right. I also see that there could be, I don't know why I'm getting this, but there could be a controlling mother in the picture here. It could be their mother. It could be your mother. We did bring in the family piece, like, will the family agree? And I have to say, you know, this mother, whether it's, you know, somebody they share a child with, or whether it's their paternal mother, or whether it's your mother, you know, somebody here is kind of acting like a cock block in this situation. You might feel a lot of consternation about this. You're frustrated because you want this new beginning, but you feel like somebody's in the way. With the King of Swords coming up here, this could also be an X is getting in the way. And that could be, like I said, a baby's mama. It could also be a Taurus. It could be a Libra with the Empress there. And we do have the Queen of Pentacles here, okay? So you may feel like somebody's been kind of interfering in the connection, and that this person is already giving to two. With the Queen of Pentacles coming in here, again, it could be a mother figure. It could be somebody who has this this person's attention because they have a child, all right? This could be the person's mother or your mother, okay? Or it could be a Taurus very strongly coming in with that Empress card with the Queen of Pentacles. And there's a lot of stress around this, okay? A lot of stress. And maybe in some ways you feel like you've really kind of like had to go your own way because you knew that you couldn't like let yourself be an option in this situation. And you decided to sort of like just trust your spirit and let this go. But I feel like something about you walking away it changes this person's mind where they're like, I don't know if I want to have all of these options, you know, if it means I'm going to lose this person, you being that person, all right? Because what I see is here we got that fire sign energy with air sign energy too. This person could have strong fire and air in their chart, right? But I see them coming forward very passionately and like they're determined and they have some kind of like declaration of love. They have some feelings that they want to speak on. They are going to like kind of talk about the fact that there were other options in the mix. They want to work through this with you. They want to work it out. You know, they want to end the confusion. But I mean, we got the Hierophant here with the Six of Wands. This is somebody who's like, I want to make a commitment. I want to invest in this. This is a yes. And it does look like if you were in some kind of like competitive situation, I see that, you know, you have the opportunity, you know, to take the crown, so to speak. Question is, do you want to, you know? And I think that that's something that, you know, you really need to resolve yourself here because it shows that they're the ones in the dark. And if you don't think they're in the dark, you think that they're playing, you know, some game with you and they got it all on lock. There's actually like a lot you don't see about this situation that will be revealed to you as you head further into 2024. All right. But I do feel like this is somebody that you've dealt with before. This is an ex, you know, and one or both of you has been involved in a very serious committed relationship and somebody is willing to take the leap. But the thing is I feel like when this person comes around, despite the fact that they've taken a leap to leave their situation, if they're the ones there, you know, I can understand if you're the one who finds a commitment, it can be really challenging. You know, I feel like that's the whole deal. It's like somebody has to take a big risk here. And that risk feels like it feels so sketchy and so scary because you really feel like this never pans out. There's always a lot of promises. And this is a lot of promises being, you know, put out here. I feel like the movement is very passionate. And I think this thing lights you up. But I am really cluing into you here with your card. And I see you really like studying this. You know what I mean? You are really studying this thoroughly. You don't want to just jump on it. And I feel like in some ways you're kind of keeping a lid on your feelings because when this person comes in and all this comes at you, I think it's your natural tendency to just sort of get swept up in it. And that's what's always caused the problem. And I feel like you're trying to more internally master this situation. I'm so curious. I just have to know, is Cancer gonna go for it? You know, sometimes the tarot will reveal that stuff for you, and sometimes it's like, no, let it play out, okay? But let's see. Will Cancer give it a shot? Interesting. Page of Swords in reverse. Hangman in reverse. No more sneaking around. No more guessing about what somebody's feeling for you. No more just kind of like spying on them or them spying on you, you know, checking out your social media, trying to keep tabs. I mean, one thing's for certain. It's not saying whether you're going to go for it or not. And I feel like this is a big spiritual lesson. And that's why it's not going to determine that right now. But I do feel like you're going to have an interaction with this person. And the interaction you have with this person is going to give you a different perspective. And I feel like you'll be happy about it. And I do feel like no matter what, you're moving forward in your life. You will finally make a decision in this situation. And I do believe that this decision you make, naturally, it leads to a lot of happiness with the sun. You're not going to be in this place where you feel like you got a dark cloud hanging over you and there's all kinds of challenges. There is a happy relationship somewhere in this mix. There's stability, there's a renewal of family, there's financial security, there's building together, there's a future here. And for some of you, you're going to really do the work with this person, and you're going to have a real like meeting of minds and hearts, and you're going to have a real good clear out with each other where so much gets resolved and so much is going to make sense. And I feel like at the very least, you're opening up to this experience with this ex that comes around because you want a healing in this situation. And I feel like you've been hung up at the crossroads around this connection for far too long. So there is a reunion happening here, but I'm not so certain if you're going to go for it in terms of like, yeah, I'm going to leave my relationship. In fact, you might have a relationship in your life that feels so solid and so stable where, you know, you already got an emperor by the time this person really comes forward and lays it on the line, that you might just feel like, you know what, I'm not going to go back to my past patterns. And yeah, I feel this intense passion for you, and yes, you do stir up things in me, and I do have these feelings, and yet I really value what I have now, and I don't want to sabotage it, because I definitely feel like there's a beautiful family here, there's a beautiful relationship here, there's a beautiful connection here and stability here that's been built, and it's been hard earned through work you've done, lessons you've learned. um, you know, there's some kind of real, you know, growth here, and it's something that is very supportive, and you're happy, you know, you're happy with the sun. So, you know, you could go either way. I do feel, though, that feelings that were hidden are going to be made known. And I also feel like what you've hid from yourself is going to become known to you. This is coming forward really strongly. I feel like where you have an inner saboteur that prevents you from really grasping a true opportunity, a true new beginning, I feel like you're going to suss this out, okay? And once you reveal this to yourself and you solve that inner riddle, this is what gets you out of this position where, you know, you feel like your hands are tied and you don't know what to do and you're just held up. You start realizing, well, wait a minute, I don't have to be held up. Like, I can move forward anytime I want. I don't need to wait on somebody to make up their mind. And maybe that's what you've been waiting for. You know, this person that's coming back around, maybe you've been waiting for them to make up their mind. Maybe you feel like they kind of put you on ice while they, you know, thought about their options and, you know, kind of like led you on, and, you know, you just kind of like got tired of waiting. Maybe you'll get tired of waiting. Maybe you'll realize that that's kind of putting too much power in this person's hands. It's like, you get a choice in this situation too. Do you want to renew it? Do you really? It can sometimes be easier to sort of like put it on the other person, you know, like, oh, well, they're holding things up or they haven't made up their mind, or, you know, when really it's convenient, you know, it's convenient to sort of entertain the fantasy or the hope that it could turn into this. And yet, you know, we don't have to be put on ice. We don't have to be, you know, a place card for anybody, you know. We can make our own choices based on what we do know, you know, and being true to ourselves. And I do feel like there's a need in this situation to have a balancing of power. And I do feel like that's the spiritual work to be done in this situation. And I do feel like you're going to balance it out. Okay. And I think you will entertain this person. You will have some really deep experiences with this person. You are going to do some healing work with this person and have some real powerful communication where things that weren't expressed will be expressed. But it's not letting me know who you choose. And I feel like that's because you have to make this choice as part of your spiritual growth. You know, it's a deep soul lesson with a soul mate. And either way, there's a lot of growth that's come out of this connection, even if you don't choose them. But what you are choosing is somebody that makes you very happy. There's a relationship here. There's future here with this person. There's building, there's growth, there's a sense of family. Some of you will be starting a family, or you'll just really be solidifying, you know, the family you already have with this person. by recommitting to it. For those of you who are already in a commitment and might be tempted by this, okay? I would see that being as more likely because it does show Emperor to Empress, okay? And I feel like for a lot of you, this will be a connection you already have established when this person finally comes around. And in fact, you know, that may be why they come around. And I do have to say, they are coming around with the energy of a King of Wands, which is a highly independent energy, very reticent to make a commitment. They approach you with the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. Both are very fast-moving energies. They can be very passionate. They can really stir you up. They can be very exciting. And maybe, you know, that'll really, you know, be a temptation. I could see that, you know. I feel like you're going to feel things that you haven't felt in a long time. But I do see, no matter which way the ball bounces in this situation, it's a choice between two. And if you're not in a committed relationship right now, you will be in 2024 by the time this person comes around. And there's something about the commitment that makes it a really complicated choice for you. But you're going to have to really drop in and listen to your soul directive on this one. And also look at the saboteur. And I feel like that's an important piece of this. And either way, I feel it's really important that you have this interaction with this person, because one or both of you spies on the other. Like, you're still tapped into each other. You're still corded into each other. Even if you haven't, you know, had any connection with this person for a long time, you still feel an energetic pull with this person. So I feel this is important in your healing process, and also just like shedding all that heaviness, all the trauma, all the, you know, unresolved stuff from the past that's been clinging to you and kind of weighing you down. I see you getting really free of this and heading into a place of happiness, whether you choose to move forward with this person or not. It looks good, but it does look like you recognize some pattern through this coming in that has sabotaged you repeatedly. And when you recognize the pattern, that's what's going to finally get you moving forward, because I see you overcoming that pattern. And I don't think that you'll regret having this communication. I feel like it will be a very positive thing for you. And it looks like a good, you know, stable relationship, you know, coming out the other side. If you're in a commitment at the time when this person comes around, though you may be tempted, I think after this experience, you're going to be so grateful for that connection, and it's only going to solidify it more. I really feel that, you know. So there's something beautiful that comes out of here. And I feel like home is really a concern for you. And I see a really good home base for you in 2024, right? Home's going to be looking good. Home's going to be feeling good. Some of you are going to become first-time home buyers. The home just fits the bill. It's like your dream home. And you're definitely going to be able to finance it. Like, it looks like the money is in a good, stable place. So your security looks really good in 2024. For some of you, this is because you get some kind of legacy money. It could be through an inheritance, or some kind of settlement. You know, something comes in that's a good chunk of change, you know, that gives you a new kind of stability. I feel like it also opens up opportunities in your life. Let me do a cut of the deck here for you and see what we got. Knight of Pentacles. Okay, isn't this interesting? And on the other side, you got the Two of Swords. Take it slow. Okay, take your time. All right, when this person comes around, you may feel that old temptation to just get swept up in the feeling of it. But you're really being encouraged to take your time and make sure that even as you're interacting with this person, you create space so you can drop in. I got, you know, again, dropping in by a body of water. You know, water is really your ally, your element here. You know, make sure that you're doing a lot of purification, cleansing baths, so you can really stay in your own energy. And notice as you interact with this person the way your energy has a tendency to get really enmeshed, where then the emotions become confusing because you're like, I'm not sure what's mine and what's yours, right? I do feel like the need for individuation within this connection that's coming back from the past is super important, okay, in this situation. So you're going to need to take space, and you're going to need to take it slow. And that's what's really, I feel, going to be the defining moment for you with this person, whether you choose to stay in the new commitment or whether you decide to commit to this person. That's going to be the defining moment. Will this person be willing to take their time? Will this person that's coming back around, are they going to, you know, give you that space that you need? And are they going to give the proper respect to what you're trying to work out with each other? Or are they going to be just like really passionate, high pressure, saying all the right things and getting you kind of like swept up in this energy and telling you, no, you got to decide right now. All right. Okay. I do get that this person does not like being in the dark about you. They don't. But that can be like kind of like something that feels to you, I don't know, to some of you that may feel like, oh, you know, they still think about me and they want to know what I'm feeling. But that's what you got to be kind of like a little bit leery of. It's like there's almost like a little bit of an invasive energy here. Like it's too corded in, okay? So you need to be mindful about this, okay? But I do feel this advance is coming, and it'll be up to you what you do in this situation. I get you got a choice between two when this comes in. Even if you're single as a Pringle right now, you're going to have a choice between two when this comes in. So let's get a super awesome future card for you and just see. I mean, there's some kind of adventure in store here, some kind of trip. I do see that home coming into view. Like I said, you're going to find yourself the ideal home. And I feel like the home that comes in for you, it's just like it comes about in the most unexpected way. I think you're going to be tripped out when you see where you land. I feel by October, okay, in 2024, you're moving into a house or you're making some major renovations at home. Something's really changing on the home front, and it makes it like your ideal living situation. I think you'll be very happy with that. There's a lot of stability. It has a leveling up energy to it. How did this end up here? That's so weird. This card randomly ended up on the super awesome future deck. Yeah, something's really going to switch up here unexpectedly. It might get a little dramatic, I have to tell you. But there's some change in fortune happening here, and things are going to get moving forward quickly. And you may be choosing to move forward with an Ophiuchus, okay? That's a Sagittarius born November 30th through December 18th. There might be some movement forward that's, you know, kind of like spurned on by a Sagittarius here. And you could also be dealing with a fixed sign energy in this situation, Leo. You could be a Cancer, Leo, Cusper. We also got Scorpio, Taurus, and Aquarius, right? Again, there's some kind of riddle you have to solve. And once you solve this, you'll have the truth you need to move forward, all right? Interesting. But there will be some kind of like mix up here, all right? And I don't know why I'm getting this, but you might want to be aware of somebody's, you know, propensity to party. Okay, I don't know if they're a drinker, but you might want to keep an eye on that. Okay. So I'm going to get a super awesome future card here for you. You know, drinking could be something that could kind of like be fuel on the fire that could spur arguments. Okay. I don't know if this person has a history of alcoholism or if you grew up, you know, in a home where that was an issue, but there might be something coming up around that you want to be mindful about. Maybe this person is saying that, you know, they got a handle on that or they're in recovery. You might suspect that they're still like, you know, drinking. Okay. I don't know why that's coming in, but it's something you should be aware of, right? Okay, let's see here. Yeah, you know, I think something may seem like a wish come true, but there's more details you need here as far as this person coming back around from the past, all right? I do feel like they're a smooth character, man. They know how to work it. They might want you to go on some kind of like, you know, romantic jaunt with them or something. You know, be mindful of the choices you make, but I don't know, you might be tempted. You might be tempted. Like, just let me get it in one more time. I don't know, Cancer. What's coming in for Cancer in 2024? What's coming in for Cancer? Crossing the influence. The King. Okay, could be a Leo too. All right, we do have fire sign energy coming through. Again, you know, I do feel like you are going to know who your king is, or you're going to feel like it's good to be king. You know, you're definitely going to meet your match. All right, I feel that very strongly. But there is something you have to overcome in relation to the past, whether it's ironing out these issues with this past person that comes around, deciding you want to head in that direction, or whether it's you overcoming a sabotaging pattern that has you keep going back to the same old thing and having the same lesson over and over again, and you choose someone new. If it's somebody new, this person may come in around Leo season is a possibility. They could also just have a lot of Leo qualities. This person may be well known, their reputation may precede them. They may be somebody kind of like, they're like the light when they enter the room. They just bring so much joy around them and cheerfulness. And they're also, you know, quite easy on the eyes, you know, but I do feel like there is a new beginning with, you know, a person here who just really matches you. You know, you feel like you met your match, you know, queen to the king, king to the queen. And that's something that you'll be celebrating and feeling really good about when it all comes out at the end of the day. I think you're going to be really happy. Yeah, you know, and some things are better left as memories, you know, in spirit. I think you'll always feel a soul connection with this person. But I feel like this is what's changing here. I think you're going to kind of like, you're going to like hash it out with this person. I think you're going to make peace with this person. But at the end of the day, I think, honestly, you might feel like it's just a little bit more than you bargained for. It might feel like a really compromising arrangement if you know, take a risk with this person. So I don't know. I am suspecting some of you might have like a dalliance, you know. I do feel like there will be healing there. And oh, you know, I don't know. There's that Sagittarius energy again. I think they're going to shoot their shot. And you might see a future with this person. And again, there could be a pleasure trip involved with this. You might want to go somewhere tropical. I got Hawaii coming in there. Okay, so we'll see how it turns out for you with that, right? Or it could be you're connecting with a Sagittarius, you know. Maybe the Sagittarius lives in Hawaii. It could also be somebody born in the year of the dog, the year of the snake, or the year of the horse in Chinese astrology, just to kind of bring in those fun elements about possibilities. I'm going to get you a Sacred Rebel card to kind of hold the energy of your overarching theme for 2024. I think most of you will be going on some love jaunt, you know, and I get to a tropical place, Hawaii coming through very strongly. You know, maybe that's where you get the property. Maybe there is property in Hawaii already. Huh, interesting. That's somebody's message. If you have a question about property in Hawaii, you will secure that, all right? That looks good for you. All right. Let's see. And I'm just going to do one cut of the deck here and just get you sort of an overarching theme to 2024, Cancer. Free from judgment, free to love, okay? So I think this is where it's at the end of the day. You know, we did bring up the piece about family might have some issues with your choice in romantic partners. This may be what's kind of holding you back. You also may be kind of judging yourself. You know, you might be a little hard or critical on yourself, especially if you feel tempted, you know, to go back with this person again. Do you even see even the nature of your read? It's a little back and forth. I do think that you will entertain this on a certain level. I do see you having some kind of like romantic experience with this person who comes back around from the past. And you might just need to go there. I mean, that might need to be the way that it is. But I think no matter what, 2024, you're going to follow your heart and you're going to find the real thing.